Ha, yo. Man, this is weird, just myself. But anyway, man, this is Nappeboi. I am one of the co-hosts of the baddest podcast right now. Hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast. Y'all saw our boy Ziggy the Beast do his introduction. Y'all saw the founder of hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast. You saw Mr. Chris Dilworth, Mr. Team Bring It. You saw his introduction, and now you get Nappeboi. Man, tonight we are gonna go over a lot of key points: how I got into the wrestling business, how I fell in and out of love of wrestling. Also, you're gonna find out my favorite wrestler, the most emotional time in wrestling for me as a fan, and I'm just letting everybody know right here, right now, you can ask me any and everything. No holds bar. I'm like a book, man. Open me up and read me. What's going on, Zig? What's going on, Jamie? Man, I'm good, man. I'm chilling, just living life, man. Got a beautiful family. So we gotta, I gotta keep grinding for them. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get started in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and share the podcast around real quick. Try to wait for a few more people to get in too, and then we're gonna go ahead and get into it, man. It's gonna be an awesome night. Hope everybody is enjoying their time. We're one day shy from the weekend, so let's go ahead and knock these days out and get to the weekend. Unfortunately, I'm working, but it's all right, though. It's all right. Cool. All right. All right. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I will be back shortly.
This is TJP, the Phil-Am Flash, otherwise known as the Cruiser Great, fresh off of a few wars at the Impact Zone and for New Japan Pro Wrestling. And this shout out is for the hashtag Heels for Life podcast with your hosts Chris, Kid USA, Nappeboi, and Ziggy the Beast. Welcome, listeners. God bless, and keep watching Pro Wrest.
3, 2, 1, 0. Hold up, hashtag Heels for Life. Wanna welcome everybody, yeah, we gotta get it hype. Hey, every week talking wrestling, we get into it. Current events, even guests that we're interviewing. Hosted by Chris, Kid USA, and Nappeboi. Shout out to Ziggy, put the smack down, you can't ignore. The best you gon' find anywhere online. Tell the competition they about to get clothesline. Hold up, hashtag Heels for Life. Let's go.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, it's Nappeboi, one of the co-hosts of hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast. This is my introduction to the HeelNation, to y'all. First and foremost, let me shout y'all out, man. Y'all have been on like this crazy, awesome, just like, man, y'all so interactive. Y'all like, man, y'all hang out with us for 4 hours this past Sunday watching Double or Nothing, man. We appreciate y'all. This is the reason why we are doing it. because of y'all. Let's get into it, man. We're gonna dive in. So not a lot of people know this. You know, I'm repping the Saints hat, repping New Orleans, but I'm not from New Orleans. I was born in Connecticut, March 7th, 1990. That's where I'm from. And I moved to New Orleans when I was 9. So born in Connecticut and raised in New Orleans, and I wouldn't have it any other way. New Orleans is my home, even though I do have family back in Connecticut that I do go see. But I mean, this is where everything started for me. Um, but the wrestling is gonna be crazy. That's where Vince is from, Connecticut. So that's where it started for me, man. I don't really remember my childhood in Connecticut, right? You know, a lot of, you know, people, you know, tell me, oh yeah, I remember when I was 3, I remember when I was 4, I remember when I was 5. I don't. The only thing I remember was I was 4 years old and my uncle ordered WrestleMania 10. And I was probably, I couldn't even tell you what I was eating. I was probably eating some kid food, right? And all I remember is the blonde mullet coming out, Shawn Michaels, and then the bad guy Razor Ramon, man. I remember that match. I remember being 4 years old, sitting on the couch with my uncle, with my mom, Indian style, sitting Indian style on the couch, just glued. And I remember that match like it was yesterday. So a lot of people, I see the comments. A lot of people think my favorite wrestler is Roman Reigns. He's my favorite wrestler in this generation, but my all-time favorite, the one that got me into the business, the one that got me into wrestling, is HBK, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. I've told many people before, he can do no wrong. Even though I know he was a dick in the back, you know, with the politics and everything, that's still my boy. I'm still rocking with him, you know. And because of me, you know, liking the technical style of wrestling, of course, it grew into way more than just one favorite wrestler. You know, I can't say that you know, Sean's my favorite and not say Eddie Guerrero is my favorite. Chris Benoit is my favorite. And I know saying his name, it's a little iffy. But when I speak of Chris Benoit, I'm speaking of Chris Benoit, the wrestler and the athlete. I'm not speaking of Chris Benoit, the human being. That's a whole nother story and a whole nother subject that we're not here for. But, you know, leading up to, I would say I was probably 18 when I started getting out of wrestling. So let me just tell y'all, I'm probably not the only one that thought this, but I thought wrestling was real. I thought it was hella real. Nothing was fake about it. And, you know, of course, once you start growing up, you start looking at things, you start realizing things, truth start coming out. And I was just kind of like, damn, I've been lied to my whole life. I'm not even going to lie. So I did step away from watching it. You know what I'm saying? I probably stopped that roughly around 16. And then it went into, you know, 17 and 18. I told this story before on the podcast, but I'm going to say it again because it is a introduction of me. And this was one of those things where like it made me fall back in love with the business. So, a very good friend of mine, that's a brother that unfortunately is no longer here with us, God bless his soul, Kurt Craig Jr. He went by K Smooth. He was a indie wrestler. He wrestled here in New Orleans, and I would go to his training sessions every now and then. And this one particular day I had went, and unfortunately, I wish I knew. I'm going to try my best to remember this man's name and see if I could possibly look him up, and try to get him, to speak his story on the podcast, because he has a lot of knowledge. He actually used to deal with WWE. He used to be one of the trainers way, 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 way back in the day. But he was training my boy. And he was training for the promotion at the time. I want to say it was Elevate Pro, or it could have been Wildcat. One of those two are ringing the bell for me mad right now. he was training for it, and I was, watching him sitting in the back, and I was kind of making smart remarks like, oh, that's fake. Oh man, that fakely hurted. And I caught the trainer when I would say that, kind of give me that awkward eye, like this motherfucker here. And toward at the very end of the training session, when my boy got done, they had called me over. I introduced myself. He introduced himself. We were just shooting the shit for a bit, and he said, "So you think the wrestling's fake?" And I was like, I do apologize for dropping the F word, but yeah, I mean, let's be real. It's scripted. It's, and that's when he hit me with stone cold facts. He was like, it is scripted, but it's very well choreographed. And when he said that, to this day, when I hear that F word, I turn around or I look at him, I say, it's very well choreographed, motherfucker. Don't ever say that F word in front of me. Right, Jamie, get the F out. And so he was like, well, look, since you think it's fake, you mind doing some test runs with me? I said, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. So, he told me literally where I'm standing, just slightly jump up, fall back, so I fell back. I did a couple of those. I ran the ropes. I flipped, boom. I did a lot of stuff. I climbed the first rope, the second rope, fell back. I climbed the top rope, and he said, if you want to, I'm not making you to, you can literally free fall back like you did on the first and second rope. If you're comfortable enough. I wasn't comfortable enough, so that was the only thing I didn't do. And I even took a chair shot. He made me hunch over, and he took it and he gave me a chair shot to the back. And that's when I got up, and I'm like, damn, shit ain't fake. And he looked at me, and I'm 31 years old, right? And I don't regret anything in life, because everything that I went through, everything that I did, every decision that I made or didn't make led me to this point in this room on this podcast. And I am very honored to say that I am, and we're going to get into it with Chris, how I met Chris, but I'm very forever indebted to my brother Chris. And then from there, I found my boy Kid USA. I found my boy Ziggy the Beast. And so also, most importantly, I found my family. I got 2 beautiful daughters and a wife, and all the decisions that I made and didn't make, and everything that I did and didn't do, it led me to this point. So I don't regret a lot. I don't really regret anything but one thing in life. After that chair shot, we shot the shit some more, and he looked at me. He says, bruh, I've been training and doing this a very long time, many years. You're literally the only one that did everything I told you to do without hesitation, without stumbling, without stopping. I told you to do something, you did it. The only thing you didn't do was a top rope fall, but not a lot of people do that the very first night. He goes, you ever thought about joining the business? And I told him no. And I regret that to this day. I ain't not gonna lie to y'all, because that right there, I fell back in love with the business. I looked at wrestling a different way. To this day, I still do. I look at it for story. I look at it for all the hard work that the men and women put in. Even the people behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? Like the ones that aren't shown on camera, the stress and the struggles and the tribulations that they got to go through on a day-to-day basis and a weekly basis. So, my hat definitely goes off to everybody in that business, whether you perform, whether you're just a light guy, whether you put the ring up, whatever you do in that business, it's a rough business. So, salute to the boys and girls that do that. Let's get into how I met Chris. So I was part of quite a few wrestling pages here on Facebook. Again, I wanted to find a group of people that shared the same love that I have, in New Orleans, you don't know. I didn't know it was a huge wrestling fan base until WrestleMania 30. So this was way before WrestleMania 30. So I didn't, I didn't really know a lot of people that dealt with wrestling, of course, besides my brother Kurt, my brother Mark, um, and that was really it. You know what I'm saying? So I joined, I joined this page, WCC community, right? And I'm gonna tell y'all, that was probably my sixth or seventh page that I joined, and the vibe of that page was just it was fucking amazing, dude. Like everybody was interacting with everyone. Everybody, it was just like it was like a family reunion, and I was the new blood, right? It didn't know anybody from Adam to Eve, bruh. But anytime I posted something, anytime I talked about something through a post, because I'm gonna let y'all know a little something in a minute, they would interact with that post and that comment instantly, man. They would show a dude love, and it was just awesome like that. I had people that I could say, damn, did y'all see Raw last night? Or what the hell were they thinking? Which we doing a lot of that now. That's neither here nor there. But it was just awesome. And it was because of WCC that I literally left all those other pages. I said, nah, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? And so going back to what I was just about to say, I wasn't going live at this time. I wasn't voicing my voice because I was really insecure. So we all know that when you speak, you hear what other people don't hear. So my voice to me sounds different than what y'all are hearing it now. And I hated my voice recorded. I was so insecure about it. Here's a little side note about Nappeboi. Growing up, I had a huge stuttering problem. Every now and then y'all might catch me stuttering. That's when I get excited or when I get nervous. And but it was really bad as a child, as a kid. Growing up, especially in the streets of New Orleans. Oh my God. Ziggy's about to probably be like, yo, you have no idea growing up in New Orleans. It is harsh. Anything that, you know what I'm saying, anything wrong with you, boy, they are gonna attack it like a hurt limb. Like they gonna attack it like Ric Flair would attack a leg. You know what I'm saying? Weaken it up, boom, clunch on that figure four lock. Bro, they gonna attack whatever you got going wrong with you, and they just gonna hurt your feelings, bro. Um, and I fell in love. So my second love is hip hop. Love music. And I fell in love with hip hop when I was 8 years old. I listened to Nas's album Illmatic, and y'all can almost guarantee that Nas is my favorite rapper in the game. And I found out when I would rap other people's songs, I wouldn't stutter. I would stutter like crazy trying to talk to somebody, but when I rap, I didn't stutter. So I tried to rap. Not gonna lie. I still got notebooks with like lyrics and shit. Like my phone to this day, I still write. But in the beginning stages of me wanting to, become a rapper, I mean, bruh, New Orleans, there's not a lot of things you can do. You're either going to play sports or you're going to be a rapper. Um, and so listening to myself recording, I stopped because I'm like, yo, I sound like shit. Like in the shower, I sound great. You know what I'm saying? Me freestyling in the mirror to myself, I sound great. But recording, oh, I sound like fucking shit. WCC helped me with that. Not even gonna lie, WCC helped me with that. Nap rap. Yeah, Reese. Nap rap. I actually went by so you'll see on the little scroll down right here, you'll see you can follow me on Twitter. My Twitter name's The Real Young J. So that was my rap name. Haven't changed it. Gotta change it. This was before I found the nickname Nappeboi, but yeah, it was Young J, YUNGJAY. Boy, I thought I was the shit until I heard myself recorded. Oh my god, yo, I love reminiscing, man. Damn, bruh. But I did not like my voice. And I still kind of don't. I got comfortable with it. I got very confident with it, you know. And so that's just what I did. So AEW was on the verge of coming out, and I was voicing my opinion on WCC like mad crazy. I mean, I think I did. What's up, Corey? What's up, brother? I think I commented the most when AEW was about to drop Double or Nothing, the very first Double or Nothing 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. And damn, it's been that long. And so when they dropped Double or Nothing, that next morning I had went live, and I'll never forget it. I was a car salesman at the time, and I always went to work early, but this particular morning I went earlier because I knew I gotta go live before I go to work. I'm gonna go live for the very first time, and I went live, and that video got so much love. I'm like, man. And I always watched Chris's Heels for Life podcast. I loved it. I loved his vibe. I still do to this day. And I'm not saying it because that's my boy. His vibe is fucking awesome. He was everything that I was behind the scenes, but he didn't give a fuck what no one thought, and he still to this day is like this. And I think him and that group broke my shell, and he showed love on the video. And to me, look, I was there when Stevie Ray popped up on his podcast live, and he just was like, and he fanned out. I felt, and I don't think I ever expressed this to Chris, so this is a first ever exclusive right here, hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast, Nappeboi introduction. I fanned out when he said, it was something along the line of, I agree with what you say. I gotta hit you up. We need to talk. I said, oh shit, what that mean, bruh? Like, hold on. And so he got me, he invited me to be on one of his episodes. And I mean, immediately I was like, hell yeah. He asked me 2 seconds later, I've responded with the fucking right. And so I went on there, and look, doing what we always do every Sunday night, and people loved it. And I didn't know people loved it. I didn't. I never look. The diehard fans that know Nappeboi, y'all know I don't gloat or brag about myself at all. So I didn't know people were digging what me and Chris did together. And they were fucking digging it, and he was letting me know. And so I'm just like, damn, like, okay. So I would catch myself going live on WCC like a normal thing. I found what I love doing, and that's voicing my opinion, you know? Like, look, man, WWE is shit. Fuck, why ain't nobody saying it? AEW 2 days new and they fucking killing the game. So, you know, it was shit like that. And man, I'm telling y'all, when I got this message, I just couldn't, it took me back for a bit. I'm like, what? He hit me up. I want to say I went on his podcast like maybe 4 or 5 times after my first one. So 6 times total, I want to say. And one day he messaged me, and he was like, yo, we need to make this happen, me and you. Like, everybody's fucking with it. They love our vibe. I love our vibe. How do you feel about it? And I was just like, nah, you don't want this guy. Like, because again, I don't think of much of me, y'all. I'm gonna be real. To this day, I still say, how the fuck did I pull my wife? Like, it's just not me, you know? And so I was just like, damn, I was like, yo, I would be honored. And I think we got something, you know what I'm saying? We got something. And man, that look, this was before I started my new job. So we were doing it Thursdays, every Thursdays. And man, it gave me a breath of fresh air to even watch wrestling even more, even though I hated the fucking WWE product. I looked at it as this is my job. My fans are gonna want to know how I feel about WWE. How can I tell them how I feel about WWE if I'm like, oh, I ain't watch it, it was shits. We know it's shits, but I got it. So it gave me a breath of fresh air and it gave me something to look forward to. Not even gonna lie, man. And so I dug it, man. I was like, yeah. Mind you, I was still in the car business. I had not that much time, but I knew when I was gonna be home. I knew when I was gonna be off, which was just one day. Anybody that been in sales know it's a dog eat dog world, and you got to be there all the fucking time. So pandemic hit, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't really too tripping about it. We were still doing our podcast. It gave us more stuff to talk about, right? So then all of a sudden, here's another side note. I got laid off. And this was when my daughter was 2, going on 3. I thought I had a bond with my 2-year-old. And when I got laid off, this pandemic, unfortunately, for a lot of people that I know, people that I don't know, it's been a nightmare. And to anybody that lost a loved one, my prayers go out to you and your family. Anybody that has been struggling financially, anything, I sending positive vibes your way. I got laid off, and I was laid off for a month and a half, and I thought I wanted it. I thought I wanted to be laid off until I got laid off, and I started drinking. I did. I went straight to Walmart. It turned into a fuck yeah pandemic party, and then even my wife was like, yo, you drinking a lot, are you okay? And I found out that I was like, what the fuck. This is why if I get teary. This is why Chris Dilworth, sorry for saying Christopher, this is why Chris Dilworth is my brother for life. Him and a few of his boys, they started playing the PlayStation 4. And so, I text Chris the day I got laid off. I was like, damn, dude, like I got laid off and, yada, yada. He goes, well, look, man, me and a few of my boys, we're going to be, playing PlayStation tonight. You should join. And I'm like, well, shit, I ain't got nothing to do tomorrow, so I'll be there. I found more people that I can, click with and fucks with. And we did that. Chris will tell you, it was some fun times, man. Playing GTA 5 online, playing Monopoly, Uno, you know what I'm saying? Cutting up, man. My brother Stewie, y'all might know him as Rennie Ren. He's got mad voices. And I think that's why me and him click, because I got the voices, you know what I'm saying? Like my favorite actor was Robin Williams. So I looked up to Robin Williams and all the different voices he could do. And so I started, doing that shit at a young age. And yes, mad hours. Yes. I mean, y'all, we would start this shit at like 9-10 o'clock. My wife would come out. Bro, you still up? I look at the clock. That bitch is like 2:30 in the morning. Chris got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? A couple other people had to go to work. Um, like, but yeah. So Rennie would hit it up with the voices. Uncle Ruckus. I would do a Michael Jackson impersonation. We would get on Chris and shit. Cause that time right there kept me out of a funk, man. Like it kept me out of a funk. I was like, you know what I'm saying, as a provider for my family, like, what the fuck am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, I was blessed with unemployment, so it definitely helped a little bit. But still, the fact that I didn't have a job, you know what I'm saying? Like it hit hard, y'all. Like it really it broke me a little bit. And those gaming nights with Chris, it it it, it was like a super escape for like however long we were on, whether it was 2 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. I forgot what the fuck I was going through for that time limit. Now again, it brought me so closer to my daughter. It was like the pandemic for me. For me, I can't speak on other people. Like I said, I know people close to me that this pandemic was a nightmare, but for me it was a blessing. I thought I wanted to stay in the car business. So they unfortunately, they fortunately called me back. I was there for a week before I quit. I was there for a week. They started with the bullshit, and sometimes you gotta realize in life that there's other things that are more important to you. And when you start feeling and hearing people not respecting you, not only as a man, but as a father and a husband, look, there's two things in life that I don't let nobody play with: family and money. And this guy was playing with my family. He wasn't playing with my money. My money was really good at that place, but he was playing with my family. When it was time for me to have to step up as as a father, as a husband, he was trying to keep me down. And so I just got up. I got up. I grabbed my shit from my desk, y'all. It was a Saturday, and car sales, Saturday's the busiest day. I fortunately sold 2 cars that day. I grabbed my shit, threw it in a garbage bag that I found in the break room, and I just walked out. Didn't tell nobody a word. And now I went from putting people in debt, right? Some of these people didn't need these cars. They just wanted them. Some of these people needed these cars. And the finance manager, that's another story. That's another story. But I went from putting people in debt to now I build conveyor belts for warehouses, putting food during the pandemic. The company that I work for was responsible for keeping Tyson Chicken Warehouse running through the pandemic, keeping FedEx running, keeping UPS running, keeping Amazon running, making sure food was hitting those belts, those warehouses, getting brought to the stores. When I go to the store and I buy chicken and I buy meat and I buy this and I buy that, it is awesome to think that these packages of chicken, these packages of cheese, whatever I'm grabbing, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, whatever, I might be reliable for those products hitting the store. So I went from putting people in debt to helping people when it was needed. And I love my job where I'm at. I love it where I'm at. It's a lot of demanding. And that was one of a crucial time again for me because I found out my schedule. I was on the training session for like 3 weeks. So it wasn't interfering with the podcast. And then I had to hit up Chris. And again, this was the third time that I said, this dude is my brother for life. I hit him up, scared, concerned as shit. I say, yo, I'm not gonna be able to to do the podcast on Thursdays anymore. And he said, oh shit, why? They were gonna put me on the night shift. And he was like, oh fuck. And I said, and he could have easily at that point, Chris could have said, damn, he could have been like, well, in a nicer way, he could have been like, well, it was a good ride. It was a good run, right? Knowing Chris, he probably would have worded it, maybe a nicer way. He could have said it like that. Look, we all know Chris. We all know my brother. But he didn't. To my surprise, this dude said, we gonna figure it out. You are not leaving the podcast. And I'm holding tears back right now because I don't like crying. But again, he easily could have just look, it was a good run, it was a good time, but you know what I'm saying? I gotta do what I gotta do for my podcast. And me, I would have understood that to the key. I'd have been like, nah, facts. But when I heard him say we gonna figure it out, I was just like, bro, that's big bro right there, man. That's big bro. Um so holding tears back. Sorry, yeah, I got a little choked up. But so that's why, side note, maybe not a lot of people know. That's why, oh man, I did not charge up my damn fucking computer. I gotta run and go get my charger. Oh my god, this is embarrassing. But side pause, real quick. Let me go get my charger. Oh my god. Fucking the game all up. All right, here we go. So where I left off. Yeah, so again, he easily could have said, nah, this is where, this is where we gotta, go our separate ways. But that's why we're on Sundays. Now fortunately I didn't go to the night shift. It switched over to they got me on the day shift. But because we went on Sundays for a little bit, that's when we were like, well, let's just stick with Sundays. We can, talk about the week of wrestling. So in the end, it worked out. You know what I'm saying? That's why, again, forever indebted to Chris, man. I can't speak enough good shit about that, man. So yeah, so it was me and him, right? Rocking it out, getting guests on it, just having a wonderful time, crazy good time. And then, oh, I want to say it was like 120 something, episode 120 something. I could be wrong. We had a guest, an upcoming indie wrestler. He's over here talking shit in the comments, motherfucker. Mr. Kid USA. We had him on the podcast. We interviewed him, on what he's been doing. The pandemic wasn't too nice with him with his wrestling, career. And then we just, started seeing how he felt about the current product and, his insight on it. I don't maybe Kid USA knows this, but Chris hit me up that night and was like, "Did you feel that?" And I said, "What, the vibe of us three?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I kind of fucks with it." I said, "Not gonna lie, I kind of do too." He goes, "All right, let's not make a decision. Let's see." I said, "Okay." So the next week, now I don't know if Chris has done this before I joined the team, but the day that I joined the team to that moment, we've never had somebody come on 2 weeks in a row. Now, Chris can help me out, and maybe he's done it before I had joined the team, but I know when he asked me to join, that was the first time we've done it. And he goes, "We're going to have him on again next week." I said, "I'm with it." And then so that following week, we had him on again. It was fucking magic. he hits me up again. He goes, thinking we might have our third co-host. And I said, hey, bruh, I'm with it if you with it. And so, boom, there we go. It became Mr. Team Bring It, Nappeboi, Mr. Kid USA. And I love it. I love it. At first, I thought he was a little fucking weird. Now, let me stop. I thought he was throw the fuck off, the baldness was always like glaring in the damn camera. And I was always like, nah. I dug his vibe. That's another person that I could say is my brother. As another person I could honestly say is a brother of mine. And it just another amazing guy that I met. Calling me fucking weirdo, dweeb. And then it was the three of us for the longest. And I want to say right before I took my little break, we did an episode with Ziggy, and he came on. He already had been doing his thing with his podcast, and we found out what he did. Y'all found out what he did. He loves promoting businesses and stuff like that, and so he shouted all that out in the podcast. And another diehard wrestling fan, y'all know that from his introduction episode. And it was another one of those like, damn, all right. So I was going through some things, some personal things with my wife, and I had to step away for a little bit. It kind of broke my heart that I had to step away, because once you do something for so long, it's like you just grow accustomed to it. And then when you don't do it, it feels like something's missing out, but at the end of the day, I'm saying, my family, comes first. And so that rock was trying to crumble, and I missed y'all too, man. Real shit. I really did. And that rock was trying to crumble. And I come from a broken family. And when I had my first daughter, I said, I'll do whatever in my power. I don't care what it is to keep my family solid. And so I had to step away, and I stepped away for close to 2 months, and it broke me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would watch it. I would just be like, damn. I would be wanting to like, nah, y'all gotta say that, and they couldn't hear me, So thankfully by the grace of God, everything worked out. And what I'm saying, I had to find balance. I'm always go, and I never live in the moment. I never just take a deep breath and all right, what I'm saying, and attack things. I always bundle up shit on my plate and then just kind of let it just so I had to I had to find balance. Thankfully I did. And now, if anybody's wondering or wanting to know, me and the family are perfect. What I'm saying, we're good. We're good. And during that time, Ziggy was doing a lot for the podcast, and I slowly started seeing it. And I was like, okay. I was like, what? I was like, look at this. And then I'll never forget it. I hit up Chris. I said, I want to come back. And he's like, all right, and like through text message, I felt his excitement. And I said, but don't tell nobody. And he's like, okay. So Sunday night, I gather my stuff, I get my laptop, I get this, I get that, I set up, I get that email, I go into it, boom, I'm in the room, and I see them all, and they're all just like talking, and I'm just like, I was just right there in the background, and I'm like, boy, if they only knew. Y'all did pop. Boy, y'all made me look. I gotta say it for the third, maybe fourth time. I think I'm a nobody. But the pop that Zig, Kid, and Chris gave me when I got back on, bruh, it was like that intro hit. Boom. He brought on our first guest. They already knew the first guest, right? I want to say they brought on a second guest. I think they brought on a second guest. They already knew who the second guest was. And then when Chris was like, and then I saw Chris and Zig like, wait, we're having a third one? And bro, when I was just y'all made me feel like y'all made me feel like Triple H when he came back from that freaking surgery, when he came out with the jean jacket, boy, and the crowd was just like like that's how I knew that this podcast was a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, MSG, man. MSG when he came, boy. It was awesome. Like, I'm still like, dude, like this smile isn't faking. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just like it was amazing. You know, here I'm thinking like, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna come back and be like, what's up, bro? What's good, Nap? What's, you know? But they were like, yo. I was like, that's what's up. And then yeah, and man, we've been doing it. Ziggy's been a trooper, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he came in, started doing, you know, what he does best, and it's just, you know what I'm saying? It's amazing. And like again, man, we do this for the fans. We do this for the HeelNation. Like y'all make me. I used to not like Sundays, right? So I'm off every other weekend. This weekend I'm working. Next Friday and Saturday I'm off. The Monday I gotta go into work, I'm like, I'm not a fan of Sundays. I don't care when. Every single Sunday, I'm like, let's do it. Let's do it. What's been going on in the wrestling world? Like, I love Sundays. So, let's get down to how I got my nickname. So as y'all know, in early in the video, I thought I wanted to be a rapper. That didn't work out. And I called myself Young Jay. So I either went by Jay or James. And this was I forgot the year, maybe 2004, 2005. T-Pain came out with Nappeboi. Now I hated I already know somebody's about to comment on this. I hated my last name. I hated my last name because nobody ever got it right. It was always Nappe, Nap, Nape. It was just, it was trash. I hated it. And then all of a sudden, you know, T-Pain started with the Nappeboi, Nappeboi, you know, and I don't know who it was. It was somebody in skate. Man, look at Steven. Get the fuck out of here. And it was somebody either in school. It was nobody in my circle. Because if it was somebody in my circle, I definitely would have known. But somebody just started calling me Nappy. Like, what's that, Nappeboi? I'm like, what's up, bro? And it just stuck. Like, from that one person that I can't name. I can't name him. Like, if somebody knew him and had him lined up with 5 people and said, if you can pick out the person that told you what's up, Nappeboi, from the beginning, we'll give you $2 million cash. I'm passing up on $2 million cash. I'm gonna try to guess it. You know what I'm saying? It's $2 million cash, but I'm not gonna get it because I have no idea. But it stuck. Yeah, killing me with the hairy shit. And so from there, I just went with it. And so, you know, me being me, you know, it was already a given because, you know, T-Pain used to spell it Nappy, like how you're supposed to spell it, Boy. My last name is Nappe. So I just kept the Nappe, and then instead of Boy, I put Boi, and it stuck. And now nobody ever really calls me Nappeboi. They always call me Nappy. So eventually, maybe I'll drop the boy, but I am a kid at heart. So, but yeah, that's how Nappeboi came about. T-Pain made my last name cooler to me. You know what I'm saying? Going to the kid at heart, I am. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest kid at heart because I know a lot of big kids too. But I mean, just to touch on a few things that I still do to this day, like I still love Dragon Ball Z to the fullest. Like, don't give a fuck. um, I still I still like Pokemon now, old school Pokemon. Like I fucks with the first gen, second gen, kind of the third gen, but that's where I cut it off at that third gen. This new shit, I have nothing. I know nothing about this new gen. Bro, I was telling my brother the other day, Steven, who commented on here. What's up, Steve? Um, uh, I tried Netflix picked up some Pokemon episodes and I tried watching he was the first in Pokemon. I knew he was gonna say something. um I want to, yeah, like Netflix picked up some episodes of like the new Pokemon, like XYZ or some shit, Black and White or whatever. I tried watching it. Man, them voices is hella weird and different and throwed off. And like, man, this isn't the Ash that I grew up with. Like, what the fuck? So I don't watch it. I still play it. You know what I'm saying? I still got my Game Boy SP. I still got my Game Shark. You know what I'm saying? Hacking the games and whatnot. I still do all that shit, man. I don't have a Funko Pop collection like my boy Zig. His shit is something serious. But I do got a few. I got Perfect Cell. I got Goku. And then of course I got the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, my boy. And I got a couple figurines of Dragon Ball Z, you know what I'm saying? I like they got these model kits. I'm gonna have to, probably pop a couple out, while we do our little, Sunday night live. But they got these figures that you build. And I fucks with that heavy because it's like you get this box. It's like a model kit, right? It's called Figurize, and it's a box with like these little like sheets of pieces, and you got to get nippers, cut them out and whatnot, read the directions, put them together, and you're literally from the ground up building Goku or Vegeta or Vegito or like the figure that you bought. So I got like two of those. I got like a Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta and a Super Vegito that I built, and it's fire, and so I got a few figurines, what I'm saying, that I might like display, in the later future. But other, like I said, besides wrestling, I do have other loves, anime. I'm getting into anime a lot more because I was always boxed off with just Dragon Ball Z, and I kind of felt like a fraud. Like, oh yeah, I love anime, and they'd be like, well, what you like? I was like, oh yeah, I like Dragon Ball Z, and they're like, oh yeah, what else? And I'm like, Dragon Ball. Oh yeah, what else? Dragon Ball Super. Oh yeah, what else? And it's just like, I don't know. Like, I just got done watching Seven Deadly Sins. Fucks with it. Death Note. Fucks with it. Not the movie. For the love of God, if you don't know nothing about Death Note, do not watch that fucking movie, y'all. Watch the anime, please. But yeah, and then I just love making people laugh, facts, Zig, facts. Are you a Psycho nerd as well? I'm not sure what Psycho is. I'm not sure what Psycho is. So you gotta kind of, Corey, let me know what Saigo is. If that's like a TV show or like a movie or whatever, I'll definitely look it up. But I'm not sure what that is. But yeah, I just sci-fi. A little. a little bit. Like speaking of sci-fi, like I used to watch Doctor Who. I used to watch Doctor Who. I stopped watching right before, I believe, the Doctor, because like every it's been so long since I watched Doctor Who, but I know there's like a time period where he like morphs into a different Doctor, and that's when they get a new actor. So I know I stopped watching it like 2 seasons before the Doctor turned into the first ever female Doctor Who. Because then I heard it was kind of trash. Not because it was a woman, y'all. Before I get the, the slander hate or whatever. But yeah, I used to watch Doctor Who, sci-fi. What else did I used to watch on sci-fi? I used to watch I like horror movies the most. The most. I love horror movies. I grew up I was probably like the only kid that I knew at like 8 or 9 years old watching fucking like Scream, Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street, you know what I'm saying, Halloween, Jason, Friday the 13th, Chainsaw Massacre. Like I used to, and boy, Sharknado, man, dude. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. When I say I hate Kid, I it's not from hate. I really do hate Kid because of his fucking sarcastic bullshit. Look at this motherfucker. So I'm over here talking about horror movies, and he gonna throw up Sharknado. Nah, bruh, that's not even a horror movie. That's like anyway. So I really don't mess with the real, like the Conjuring and shit. I'll watch it. Not gonna lie to y'all. This is y'all can make fun if y'all want. Um, I still watch Conjuring and shit. I'll Insidious, the Exorcism shit. But I freak myself out, y'all. I freak my fucking self out. But I still watch it just because, like I said, I'm a horror fan. Like, but I'm coming to find out that like I'm like the slasher horror fan, not the fucking like, oh, let's go play with a Ouija board. Now, boy, if I see you with a Ouija board, want to say you want to play, hell yeah, I want to play. I'm gonna take that Ouija board and fucking crack it over your head like one of those cake pans that freaking they used to do in the hardcore matches back in the day in the WWF. Like, don't bring that shit around here with me. Fuck no. But yeah, that's another thing that I love doing, horror movies, you know what I'm saying? And then, like I was saying before, like I just love making people laugh. Like, Robin Williams was like a huge inspiration growing up, and that's where I started developing like, oh, I could do this, like I could sit here and be like, hello, mate, you want to go get teas and crumpets? Yeah, I love doing stuff like that, making people laugh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I could be having the shittiest day, right? The shittiest day, like just over it. And I see somebody, kind of down in the dumps. I want to go cheer them up. That's like my little thing that I like to do. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I do. And here we go, a 4-year-old cameo. What, baby?
I got this hour in here.
But look, go ahead. All right, I'm still doing my my podcast, so go ahead and close the door.
Are you taking so long?
I'm almost done. Give me like a few more minutes, all right? But go to bed. And there we go. Special guest appearance, my 4-year-old baby girl Bella. My world, that in my world right there. Let's see what Reese said. Reese said, Nappy wanted clown Sharknado if Roman or HBK. I so would be clowning it because for the fact, bruh, come on, y'all know Shawn Michaels, HBK, the man is not gonna be doing no D+ movie, and we all know the tribal chief ain't gonna be doing no D plus. Man, my daughter name is Bella. What? Okay, wait. So like, is your daughter? Because Bella is a nickname. We named her Isabella, but I mean, yo, that's crazy, bro. Like, look what Zig said, y'all. That's like brother for life now too. My daughter name is Bella too. Man, that's crazy. That's awesome, bro. We gotta link up. We gotta link up. Since you live in Baton Rouge, we definitely gotta do a play date. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna link up. Roman and HBK is over the sea. Y'all see why I hate this man right here? Come on. Come on. Bruh. What? Izzy or Bella? Man, that's mad crazy. That's awesome though. That's awesome. Wow. Now, y'all. So, all right. We got Ziggy saying her name is Isabella, but we call it Izzy or Bella. And then look at Kid. I cannot make this up. Look at Kid. Wait. Oh, wait. Look at Kid. My daughter's name is Bella too. For real. Oh my gosh. Isabella, Izzy, Bella. Wow. Yo, can't make this up, y'all. 3 dudes on a podcast with a daughter, Isabella. Small world, y'all. Small world. but but man, if y'all got any questions, you know what? I feel like I did enough talking about myself. Damn, an hour and 3 minutes of me talking about myself. I never thought I would do that ever in my life. But what I'm gonna do, oh yes, facts. All beauties, kid. All beauties. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and just let y'all comment, man. Like I said in the very beginning of the podcast, y'all ain't about to go to bed. I mean, I do got work tomorrow, but now I'm probably gonna stay up probably for like another hour and a half, maybe. Oh, real quick, hold on, real quick, because I found another love with WCC. So, he should name her Bella. He should, Reese. He should. He should. So yeah, so of course to this day I'm still part of WCC. And I want to say maybe so 2 years ago I joined the WCC Brawl, which is a EFED. Now, to anybody that doesn't know what a EFED is, because prior to 2 years ago, I had no idea what an EFED was. It's like a wrestling promotion. You know, you cut promos, you develop your character. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you don't do, unfortunately, I wish we could kind of fix this maybe, is you don't get in the ring, and wrestle. Depending on the EFED that you're part of, it all has its ways of who's gonna win. WCC Brawl right now is based off of the best promo. If you got the best promo, you're gonna win. I know EFEDs never was part of one, but I know EFEDs that will take like a SmackDown versus Raw or a SmackDown 2K, WWE 2K, and will put your characters in it and let them. Good night, baby. I love you. Go to bed. Another cameo. Girl, Chris got to put you on the payroll. And they do it like that. They'll create the characters, put them in the ring, and let the computer go at it. But again, circling back to the only thing I regret in life is not taking that what that coach said serious and actually joining the business and training to be a wrestler. I found out late that I love e-fedding. And now, again, I joined. Okay, Zig. Yeah, hell yeah. Zig said that's what he does with his. He does the 2K20 e-fed, I definitely gotta try something like that. Something like that sounds fun, But yeah, I was I've been part of the Brawl for like 2 years, but I started actively becoming a performer about 8-9 months ago, and I love it. I really do. I'm having mad fun with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially, I might be pulling the curtain back on my character, but especially when like I could dig into somebody and they think that I'm being dead ass and they message me like, yo, bro, we cool, right? And I'm like, now I'm at work, mind you, right? I'm at work and I'm like, yeah, why would we not be cool? Oh, that last promo, man, that shit hit deep. I was like, bro, it's all love, man. This is all, like this is all fun. Like I love that shit. Shh, don't tell nobody though. I love that shit. But yeah, I've been doing that and it's just been fun. It's like another escape for me, you know what I'm saying? Like it gets my creative juices flowing. But now I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all ask me anything. Like I said in the beginning, I'm an open book. I ain't gonna hold nothing back. Y'all can ask whatever. Take a nappy. Actually, no. So I get look, y'all go ahead, comment your questions as I'm waiting for y'all to ask me questions. I'm gonna go ahead and explain my character. Cause Ziggy said Nappy Boy, aka take a nappy. Appreciate that, Corey. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Corey said he seen my work. I appreciate that, man. I really do. So right now, what I'm going with in the WCC brawl is I call myself the natural nappy boy. I'm also calling myself the face of WCC. That's where I got this from. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I got this from. I don't know where this came from. I really don't. I guess I was like feeling myself the first time I did it, and so it just stuck. All right, it just stuck. But my maneuver, my finisher. So I got two finishers. I have the New Orleans hand grenade, which is pretty much Cody Rhodes' finisher, the Crossroads. I always loved that move, always loved it, and I call it the New Orleans hand grenade. For anybody that don't know that, it's a alcoholic drink. Depending on where you go, I get mine at bourbon. So 3 of those, I'm done. And then doing talking to other e-fetters in WCC Brawl, we would do this thing called the Terror Dome where it was like our performance center. We would go live, not live, but we would have like a Zoom meeting like once a week, once every 2 weeks, and just go over things and just have like drills of us cutting promos on each other. We would do quick ones like, okay, you got 30 seconds as a heel to cut a promo on a face, and these are the two names. And you know what I'm saying? We had crazy shit like Goku going against Vegeta at one point. We had Taco Bell Man going against Queso Man, I think it was. Some shit. Like we had crazy shit going. And so, but and so one of them came up with, man, you should call, another great, awesome finisher of mine that I love is Go to Sleep, the GTS with CM Punk. And so somebody was like, you should call it the Natural Nap. And so that's my finisher for the natural, for my character, the Natural Nap, GTS. All right, we got some questions coming in. Oh, there go my mic. Sweet. All right, so Ziggy, James Nappy, if you were a wrestler, what would you go with as a finisher move? Oh, man. That is a very good question because I definitely wouldn't be using the Crossroads or GTS because, that's like, all right. This is where I thought of this because at one point in my life, I would watch wrestling every Monday and Thursday, Monday or Friday, because they were swapping days like crazy with SmackDown. When I was young, I have to know, am I the only person that did this? When it was time to watch wrestling, I would grab my wrestling ring with all my wrestlers in the ring, right? And I would sit in front of the TV, put my ring there, take my toys out, watch, see what's going on, and I would mimic. So like if Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy were going against the Dudley Boys, boom, Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Dudley Boys tag team match in my living room, in my wrestling ring. Let's get it. Am I the only one that did that? Because I did that. And so I came up with a finisher where you put them up in a suplex, right? And this is where it gets tricky. And I'm hoping I'm explaining this enough. So you got him in a suplex, and then you bring him down and you flip him into a rock bottom and fall with him like a rock bottom. But you pick him up in the suplex and boom. And I called that the disaster. So that's what would be my finisher. I probably, though, would name it the New Orleans hand grenade because, you know, at that age with me playing with my wrestling toys, I didn't know a little bit about alcohol, you know what I'm saying? So, but I would probably name it like that. Head of the kids' table of WCC. Boy, I hate you. What is your favorite all-around promotion in wrestling, indie or international or otherwise? That's a great question. Matt Morgan finished it up. Yes. So I have no idea. I couldn't think of his name. That's why I did not mention Matt Morgan. But I'm gonna go back to you, Corey, because I don't know if you guys are gonna believe me. I wouldn't believe me. You know what I'm saying? I came up with that finisher. Matt Morgan did it once in the WWE before he went over to the Impact, before he went over to TNA. But Matt Morgan, before he called himself the Blueprint in TNA, I think he was just going by normal Matt Morgan in WWE. He did that move once, and I was fucking pissed. I was like, bitch. I was like, motherfucker. Like, I started tearing my room up because I thought like a motherfucker had like a camera in my fucking, like, hold on. Like, no, I came up with that fucking finisher. Fuck you. So again, y'all ain't gotta believe me. I don't know if you will. I came up with that move before Matt Morgan. I think it's time for you to cut that royalty check, brother. Anyway, going back to Corey's comment, my favorite promotion as a kid, I'm gonna give you, you know, generations. As a kid, it was WWF. There was WCW. I would watch it, but I wasn't hooked to it like I was WWF. I gave TNA a little chance, you know what I'm saying? And then they got kind of like weird and whatnot. Right now, it's probably a given. My favorite promotion is AEW. As a wrestling fan, they hit all the spots for me. They hit storytelling, they hit the shock value, they hit the unpredictability for me. You know what I'm saying? Some of these matches is so hard. Like, you think they're gonna go one way and they go the other way. Or you think they're gonna go one way, so you choose the other way just for them to go that way that you originally thought of. You know, so yeah. Let's see. That's it for the question. That was definitely a good question though. I did enjoy that. But why are you such an asshole? All right, so John wants to know, why am I such an asshole? Well, John, that's easy, but no. I don't think I'm an asshole. I mean, I guess I got my asshole-ish ways, you know, when I need to be. But I know John's trolling. John, look, in the HeelNation, I gotta give it. If we would give awards to the HeelNation, John May would get the trolling award because he is the biggest troll HeelNation has ever seen. So big ups to John. I love you, John. You know that, brother. But nah, man. You know, I look, when I gotta be an asshole, then I'm an asshole. I don't like being an asshole though, because once that asshole switch clicks on, it's kind of hard to click off. You know what I'm saying? That's why my daughter being born was probably the best thing, because she calmed me down a lot, like a lot. Oh, and then to y'all who don't know, I do have a second daughter. She's 3 months. I'm like skipping ahead. She's 3 months. So, just daughters, man. Of course, I wanted a boy, but I feel like daughters calm you down. Like I calm down a lot. So you're getting old too. Yeah, you know what? So are you. I think you're older than me, so you really shouldn't be talking. We know that your fave wrestlers are Shawn and Roman, but who are your fave managers? Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Very good question. Um, God, there's so many. There's so many. All right. I would definitely have to say Paul Heyman. And the only reason why I say Paul Heyman is because he has no filter at all. He he's one of those that can just take any person and just put him right here. Like just grab him from the ground and just vroom, and boom. Look what he did, Roman. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh, this is tough. What? Favorite stable, not including DX or NWO. You fucking whore. Um, man. Favorite stable. I was a fan of the Hardy Boys, but when I think of stable, now John, you can correct me. When I think of stable, I think of more than two people. So I don't know if I want to go with the Spirit Squad. I don't know if I'm going to go with the Hardys, because that was only two people. I mean, technically, you can throw Lita in there for three, but I mean, yeah. But favorite stable, you know what? I dug the corporation. You know, yeah, I dug the corporation. The way that they just walked around and just like, you know what I'm saying? Like you knew they were in charge because I mean, fuck, you had Vince in there, you know what I'm saying? But like the people that they grabbed, like it just threw a lot of curves, a lot of swerves, when China joined and then Triple H joined and then Triple H turned on DX and then The Rock joined at one point and then Stone Cold, it was just like, what in the fuck? Um, yeah, I gotta say corporation. Kid asks, who was your favorite wrestler growing up besides Shawn? That is very easy. It's a tie between two people. And that's actually gonna bring me to my favorite emotional part of being a wrestling fan, which once I say these two names, y'all are gonna put two to two together. I know y'all are very intelligent, but my favorite two wrestlers, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and of course WrestleMania 22, the most iconic moment with the hug, both of them at the top of the mountain. That shit will forever be, you know what I'm saying? Watching Dark Side of the Ring brought a lot of dark shit back for me because when my brother died 11 years ago, it to this day still stings. WrestleMania 20, yes. Wow, I'm all over the place. Sorry. When like my emotions go, I get clouded a little bit. But watching Dark Side of the Ring, Chris Benoit, and then seeing what Chris went through with Eddie, it brought back a lot of shit for me when my brother died. And like I said, this still hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like certain things will just make me stop in my track and just maybe drop a tear or two. You know what I'm saying? Maybe cry it out. You know, it's just unpredictable. A song. His favorite artist was Michael Jackson. So like I'll randomly hear a Michael Jackson song and I'll just be like, that's him telling me to just, you got this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like I said, those two like neck and neck, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit. I also enjoyed Jeff Hardy. I also enjoyed Edge. Back then, Rey Mysterio was another good one. So there's a lot. There's a lot. Favorite heel turn. Ooh. So I don't know if this was a heel turn or not. I think it was. But the most memorable turn was, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, 2002. I think it was 2002. Triple H turning on Shawn Michaels. Boy. And I want to say that was a heel turn because like Triple H was getting pops at that point. They were hinting DX, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, that whole storyline was just, it was deep. Oh man, it was so good storytelling and like it was believable, like they pulled the curtain back on that one. You know what I'm saying? Like oh yeah, whack. What? Nah, come on, man. Kim Yan. John May wants to know best technical wrestler who never got a fair chance. Ooh. Best technical wrestler who never got a fair chance. Damn. That's a good ass question because the two that I can think of got a decent fair chance. Chris Benoit, Eddie Guerrero. I'm probably gonna catch hell for this. I was going with William Regal. I thought a lot of people were gonna disagree with me on that. That's why I was like, I feel like I'm gonna catch hell for this. Yeah, no, William Regal, man, he really doesn't get his credit at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really doesn't. Dean, kid said Dean who? Not Ambrose. Oh, Dean Malenko? Are you talking about Dean Malenko? But not yeah, William Regal, he really doesn't get his credit due. He put over a lot of people. He made a lot of people look. He made Christian look good at one point. And that's saying a lot. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Nah. Dean Malenko is definitely another one. Perry Saturn. I feel like he had a lot of demons. I mean, who doesn't though? I don't remember Perry Saturn that much, but Dean Malenko, I definitely remember Dean. And I would definitely agree with John when he says William Regal for sure. Again, I just don't think that he ever got his credit. You know what I'm saying? He put over a lot of talent that at the time really wasn't the best of the best, but made them look like the fucking best. And plus he always had good chemistry in the ring. I could be wrong. I could be stretching when I say this, but I don't think I ever saw a bad William Regal match. I really don't. I do remember Moppy. He used to wear that motherfucker on his head and shit. I lied to y'all. So I do remember Perry Saturn. That shit. Yeah. Fucking Moppy. Oh my god. But anyway, y'all, best hardcore champion. Oh, that's another good one. Damn, there were so many. Um I'm gonna give you my favorite, and then I'm gonna give you um the one that kind of like stood out and was like, oh, okay. So for me, I enjoyed when Crash Holly was champion. And the reason why I say Crash Holly, let me put up the question, is because he was full of charisma. He was full like, you know what's crazy? Like, you can almost say like R-Truth got a little bit of what he does by Crash Holly. Like, Crash Holly will lose it, and then he'll find a way to get it right back like 2 seconds later. Like, I remember watching like a hardcore match, and there was like four of them in there, and I think like Hardcore Holly won, or like somebody else won, and then the 24/7 rule. So like the bell rings, bing bing, new hardcore champion, Hardcore Holly, right? And then he'll fucking come up with a schoolboy, bow, bell rings again, ding ding ding, new champion, Crash Holly, and he goes running off. I like when Crash Holly was champion. The one person that I never thought was gonna be hardcore champion that became hardcore champion, and when he became hardcore champion, it was like, oh shit, anybody can be hardcore champion, was the Undertaker. For one, looking back at it now, the Phenom was a hardcore champion. The fuck? And then the match he won it with against RVD. When you think of RVD and the Undertaker, that's like night and day. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the hell are we gonna have a match with RVD and the Undertaker? But they did it. They pulled it off. It was a hell of a fucking match too. But so yeah, Goldberg match, bro. What you mean? Like my favorite Goldberg match? None. Like what you mean by that Goldberg match? John says Steve fucking Blackman. He was a very, very good hardcore champion. Very good hardcore champion. No, with Regal. Bruh. I don't remember that one because, yeah, I never really fucked with Goldberg. I knew of him, of course. I mean, you got to know Goldberg, but I never really paid attention to Goldberg. I still try not to, but, with Vince McMahon shoving motherfuckers down, our throat, it's like, okay. But man, y'all, it's been an awesome night. I went longer than what I thought I was gonna do. I definitely will. YouTube it. I definitely will. Another fun fact about me: when people tell me to like watch something, like a movie, a clip, or like whatever, I go on my phone on my notepad and like I put it in to like shit to watch. So when I get free time, I go to my notepad and I watch. Like, I'm probably gonna get bashed for this because this movie is so old, but I recently, like 2 weeks ago, watched Brothers with Tobey Maguire and Jake Gyllenhaal. Jeez, that was a good fucking movie. Like, that was a very good movie. But yeah, that's what I do. So I definitely, when I get off of here, matter of fact, if I go to sleep, I gotta take, I gotta do the dishes. That's what the wife came in here for. Told me to do the dishes, take the trash out. So once I do that, and before I go to bed, I'll definitely watch that match. But but man, y'all, yeah, I went longer than what I thought I was gonna do. I was like, Nappy boy, maybe 40 minutes tops, But I love interacting with the fans. Y'all are amazing. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is what I do it for. This is what we do it for. We do it for y'all. Get to work. Yeah, I gotta be there at 7. I gotta wake up at 5. I'm a night owl though. I'm good. Get me a rain and energy drink at the racetrack by my house. I'm good. But yeah, this is what we do it for, man. We do it for y'all. I love the interaction. I love the vibes. I love the chemistry with, my co-host. I explained all of that. So any of y'all that's coming in late, please go back and watch it. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all will find out a lot about me. And even after this video goes off, man, if y'all found, if y'all come up with a question that you wanted to ask, but you forgot, or it didn't come to you, right now, ask away, and I'll find time. I'm always on Facebook. I'm always on our social media, trying to interact with the fans as much as I can. Even while I'm at work, shh, don't let my people know at work that I do that. But I'm always finding ways to interact with y'all. So if y'all got questions after I get off, man, ask away. How much can a woodchuck chuck if that's a question that nobody will never know, John? Maybe it's 30, maybe it's 30,000. I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of wood though. But anyway, this was another great episode of hashtag Heels for Life. This was the introduction of Nappeboi. Y'all are gonna look out for the last but not least co-host for his introduction, and that's Mr. Kid USA. You gotta step up to the plate, brother. It's your turn now. But again, man, it was great. Good talk. Appreciate that, man. Nah, Corey, I definitely appreciate you, brother, for real. Like I said, I love to, this was a great opportunity for the HeelNation to know about, Nappeboi. And then, of course, Mr. T bring it before me, and then Ziggy before, us. And then y'all are going to get to know Mr. Kid USA. He's probably going to have a lot more stuff because, like I said, he actually wrestled. To me, I'm looking forward to that one. So that should be a good episode. But tonight was awesome. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all know where to look for us, man. Hashtag Heels for Life Wrestling Podcast. All over, wherever you listen to your podcast, wherever, we on there. And if y'all could do us the best huge favor, if y'all could leave us a 5-star comment, no matter where y'all listening to us or watching us, if y'all could leave us a 5-star comment, it would be much appreciated. We are currently thinking of ideas. So for when you guys do give us 5-star reviews, of course, we're going to shout y'all out live when the next time we go live and we see that we got a 5-star review, we're going to go ahead and drop that, while we're recording to show y'all some love because y'all took time out of your day to show us love. And currently right now, we're trying to come up with ideas for giveaways. The only problem we're coming up with is that Chris, he likes to do big shit. We like to do big shit. We're trying to figure out some big shit to do for y'all. So once we figure that out, y'all just strap up your seatbelt. That's all I'm going to say. But for right now, y'all have a wonderful night. Like I said, we are mere hours away for one more day before the weekend. Y'all enjoy the weekend. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week. It has been a lovely night. It's Nappeboi. I'm going to catch y'all Sunday. Y'all have a blessed night. Love y'all.